I love my Phantom 3 standard, but there are days like today when the range is so bad. At least in CE mode, which is in Australia. If you're in America, it uses FCC mode, but in Australia, because of stupid unnecessary government regulations, you can't operate in FCC mode unless you hack it to think that it's in America, which I'll probably do it eventually. I almost crashed the drone because it just loses range and decides to come home, and because it doesn't have any obstacle avoidance stuff, it's gosh, no, it's dangerous. Not to mention the times that it decides that the GPS data is unreliable and it just exits GPS mode completely, and because today was a bit windy, it just started flying towards the trees because of the wind. That basically means that you have to keep an eye on everything the entire time because you never know, it could happen anytime. But today wasn't the day of my Phantom 3 crashing. I feel like it will happen eventually though. It's not the first time it decided to crap out and exit GPS mode near buildings or near a tree. Surely it will happen again, and if I am not paying like 100% attention when that happens, I don't know what could happen. I honestly don't. Oi? I'm sorry, another mostly talking video today, but based on the likes and views and stuff, you guys seem to like talking videos. And you know that this is a good one because I made a cup of tea. And you also know that tonight's gonna be a late night because of the size of my beautiful cup of tea. It's one of the reasons why this is my absolute uncontested favorite mug ever, and also because it's red. Come on. A couple of days ago I wrote a completely unashamed comment on PewDiePie's video in an attempt to get views and, if I'm lucky, his view. This is what I wrote. PewDiePie, I made a video just for you on how to be you. Please watch it. I will love you forever. Okay, thanks, bye. Clearly a joke. I would not love him forever. And I kind of succeeded in my attempt because I think I got like 90 views in an hour. It's pretty good. And with that also came some amazing comments. Comments that highlight why YouTube comments are amongst the greatest types of comments on the internet. My personal favorite is this one that says, "Nobody gives a F. No one will ever watch it. Get a real job, please." I love the irony of that comment because it's very likely that that person doesn't actually have a real job, probably not even a fictional job, while I actually have a real job. But thanks for the advice, I guess. And I personally like to troll idiots like that one with replies such as this one. "Thanks, you're really nice. Can we be friends?" Because, you know, friends tell you the truth, right? They don't hide things from you. So if I do need to get a real job, I expect my friends to tell me. Who else would tell me that I need to get a real job? But yeah, I do have a real job. I am a software engineer at a big company called Adobe. By the way, I'm wearing a shirt. See Adobe? Here. Adobe, not to be confused with Adobe. My pronunciation sometimes leads people to believe that I work for Adobe, that I make Photoshop and Premiere and stuff, which I don't. I use Adobe products, but I don't make them. But yes, it's a real job, and I get paid infinitely more than YouTube has ever paid me. And not because I get paid like $1 million a year, it's just because YouTube never paid me anything yet. So it is actually, mathematically speaking, infinitely more. If you have a look at this page, this is my AdSense balance, $74.75. The reason why I haven't been paid yet is because YouTube only pays Australians when it reaches $100. Probably because it's expensive to send money to Australia. I blame the president of Australia. What's his name again? Turnbull? By the way, if you didn't get that, that was a joke. We don't have a president, we have a prime minister, and his name is Malcolm Turnbull. And if you read somewhere that we have a president and his name is Turnbull, that's fake news. Don't believe in that. Anyway, I get paid infinitely more than YouTube has ever paid me. What's the point of all this work and doing all this for YouTube then? What's the point of buying a drone and almost crashing it on a tree multiple times because the GPS fails and I get really stressed? What's the point of being 11:49 p.m. and I'm still filming this video and I can hear my neighbor walk past and he's probably gonna hear me talk to the camera and think, this guy's weird, which is fine, but it's on YouTube, everyone knows that I'm weird, it's not a surprise. But what's the point of this when I can just go to work from 9 to 5 and then come home and then not have to worry about any hard work or anything? And yeah, why? A few years ago I had this urge and dream of making movies. I don't know where that came from. All I know is it's here, and I know that one day I'm gonna make a movie. How that's gonna happen, I don't know, but I know that I will. Just after Shelly and I got married, I lost my job and I took some time off and I wrote this here. 2 books. This is a script for a feature film. One that I would pay to go to the movies and watch. It's also planned to be low budget, which means I can easily make it if I don't get a lot of funding. It also has lots of F words and C words and no N words. I mean, it's set in Australia, not in America, so there's a reason for that. And it's violent, and it's gross, and it's probably repugnant, but it's so great. And I also started writing another one, and I think at the moment I have 5 pages of it. But you know, after some time not working, you just married and your wife works in a place that she hates and you really need to get a job because you don't want to see her going through that. Reality hits you and you need to get a job. With this movie thing aside, as I said, it will happen one day. I don't know how, I don't know when, but it will. And go and do what you have to do at that moment. And it was pretty great. I got a job at church at the time, and 2 jobs at church actually, 2 part-time jobs at church that really felt like 2 full-time jobs at the same time. Pretty much how I feel right now, working for Adobe and for you. And it was great, and I loved it. And then came the day when we found out that we were gonna have a baby, and we were so excited. And then also came the realization that maybe I need a slightly better job. I mean, my job was great, but one that pays slightly better than the one I had at the time. But because I already had a job, I wasn't really desperate, so I literally looked for things that if I don't want to do it, I'm not even going to apply. And I applied for this job at Adobe, and things happened very quickly, and it's such a blessing because I love working for Adobe. I love the team I'm at. I don't know, it's just so much fun. And it also meets the requirement of something that pays a bit better than what I was having before. So that's a win. But I still had these books on my bookshelf, sitting there, doing nothing. And the dream of making a movie one day is still alive. At the moment, I know that I can't really get any of this made. Not just because I don't have funding for it, but also because I don't think I have time to go and get funding and then actually produce this. But I thought to myself, how can I do something that will put me in a position where in the future I might be more likely to make one of these movies. What do I have in my hands? I have a camera. Yes, it's old, but it's still working perfectly. I have a microphone, I have some makeshift lights, and I have a YouTube channel. Surely, at that time I only had like 200 subscribers. I didn't have a lot of visibility, I didn't have a lot of opportunity, and that's something that Casey Neistat talked about it all the time. I might not even have the most talent of everyone that is out there, but I can work really hard. Hopefully I can, because sometimes I can be pretty lazy and I just lay down and stay on my phone procrastinating for an hour, which is pretty bad. But I've been working really hard for the last 200 and who knows how many days. So there you have it. That's the point of all this. Okay, let me correct that. That's one of the points of why I'm on YouTube. You know, there are other things I said before, which is I want to get my creativity going, which, you know, works towards maybe one day making one of these, getting more visibility and opportunity, which will also work towards making a movie one day. And there's also you, the audience, the fact that we get to create this community together. And yes, I'm putting all this work and doing all this because I hope and want and will work really hard so that one day this channel has a lot of subscribers, like 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, I don't know. But I'm definitely not doing YouTube just as a stepping stone to one day making a movie. It may have started as me working actively towards pursuing that dream one day, but it's much more than that today. One of the difficulties that I think I'll find when I try to make one of these is because I want to have full creative control of the final cut of the movie. I wrote it, I want to direct it, and I want it to look exactly like how I want it to look like. And as someone who never made a movie before, I think it's really hard to convince people who donate $500,000, $1 million to trust me completely if I have nothing to show them. But you know, here on YouTube, every day, I'm making a movie. It's a short movie, and I have full creative control of it because I shoot it, I decide what I put in it, I edit it, I render it, I upload it, I write the description. It's like I'm making my own movie every single day that I upload a video on YouTube. It's a different style, but it's still every day I'm making a movie, and I think that's awesome. And of course, with YouTube comes this amazing audience that is kind of involved in the process of the video you're gonna make next. Because while I'm making a video for myself, I also think about you guys whenever I'm making a video. Now, don't be fooled. The reason why I make videos on YouTube is not 100% for you. And don't believe any YouTuber that says that the reason why they're making videos is 100% for the audience, because that's not true. For people with lots of subscribers, that's their job, and they wanna make videos to, you know, get paid. That's why you see so many people going towards trending stuff, because the more views they get, the more money they get. But you, the person who is watching the video, is certainly one of the reasons that make me want to make videos for YouTube. There you have it. I think that's the best explanation that I've ever made of why I am on YouTube. I certainly hope that one day I will get paid enough money from YouTube that I can quit my job. I mean, if that day ever comes, it will be a difficult decision for me to make, because as I said, I really like where I work right now. But who knows where this thing is gonna lead me. And sometimes I think about the cons of having a lot of subscribers on YouTube. The fact that people might try to come to your house. You might not be able to go on holidays peacefully, you know, without being interrupted. While it's probably nice when people recognize you on the street and say they're a big fan, I don't know if that's nice if it happens all the time and you barely have time to do things that you want to do because you want to be nice to people and you don't want to be like, please go away, I just want to have some time with my family right now. How do you say that without being rude and without looking like a, you know what I mean. I think that's one of the advantages of being a famous director instead of a famous actor, because people might know you by your name if you're a famous director, but they probably never recognize you unless you're like super famous. But if you're a famous actor or actress, there's no way you can escape the public. Anyway, that's it for me. I almost finished my tea. I'm sweating so much because it's a bit hot and I'm drinking hot tea. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. You guys are great. And I'll see you tomorrow. The reason I haven't been paid yet is because YouTube only sends money to Australians when it reaches $100,000. That would have been pretty great. Imagine not getting paid until you get $100,000.